Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. I'm your host, and I have a special guest today. It's one of my best friends from a long, long time ago. His name is Andrew. Welcome on, Andrew.
Oh yeah, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you and everyone out there. I know I can't see you, but hey, this is a cool thing. Never done one before, so this will be fun.
Yeah, he's filling in for Quasey, who is still just grinding out some football stuff. And, that's just, I got to give him a break because he's just going to collapse if he comes on the podcast. So we're going to let him have one more week off and he's back to it. So he's still doing things in the background. Don't worry about that. But he's really ready next week for sure. Okay, let's dive into some tech news. The very first thing, and I know me and Andrew both have this with Apple Watches, blood oxygen is now back. And I'm excited for this because this was a stupid, silly thing that happened with Apple. If you do not know, Apple went through this whole process of, let's just say, borrowing employees from another company and then hiring them full time to then make this option in an Apple Watch, which was patented by another company, and they probably shouldn't have done that. This is all speculation, not 100% sure. We don't really know what's going on. But one thing that's interesting is typically Apple does this one thing. They will go and just buy a company that has this feature they want and use it in their products, right? They didn't do that still to this day. So I'm not sure what happened. I saw no news about them paying out some money or whatever, but there has to be some agreement or something brand new, right, that makes this work. So anyway, on the latest update of your Apple Watch, which is 11.6.1, this is now going to be available to the Apple Watch Series 9, 10, Ultra 2 series watches. What are your thoughts, Andrew?
Well, I know that as soon as I saw the update, I put it on myself. I've tried it once. Don't really know. It said 98%, so I'm assuming that's pretty good. So, but yeah, my old Apple Watch did not. I had the 5. And I just finally got this one, and as soon as I saw it, I put it out, I got it installed, and I tried it once. So the more information I get out of this, I know it was available at one point, but we started with the first Apple Watch. I switched to the 5, and now I just recently got the 10. So I'm finally catching up to where everyone else has got.
Which is still crazy to me because the Series 10 Apple Watch is larger than the Series 2 Ultra Watch Ultra. Apple Watch Ultra.
The next Apple Watch, I think I heard some information about the newer Ultra that they're going to have, obviously going to be probably the same size or bigger. They're always, and who knows, we'll probably know about it here next year, early, I don't know, what is it, March or April, whenever they have Apple Watch and iPad stuff.
That would be actually next month, actually.
Well, that's when they announce it, but they don't, yeah.
Oh, no, they'll have it actually available a week or so later. So the Apple Watch is going to be also paired with the iPhone in this release, which is going to be, the speculation, September 9th, I think, is when the actual date's going to be for this. We'll see some invites before too long because we're getting close in this month, and it's craziness. A little story, just to go off topic, which you do in this show all the time, Andrew. Mm-hmm. My Apple Watch, I just got it back yesterday, which I think I told you about this, maybe.
Yep, I know you told me that.
I got to tell a story. So my watch is having issues where the battery was not working as it should. It would charge sometimes at night, and there's nights it wouldn't at all, even though it showed charging when I went to bed, and then wake up, but it's not charged all the way. Did not like that at all. And I thought it was maybe what I had for a charger. I mean, I'm using MFI Apple Watch chargers, right? I'm not using like some third party from India or from Five Below, right? It's the Apple Watch chargers that you should use. And it really wasn't working. And then with Visible, I could not get this to work where I can talk my watch. It's not something I have to have, but it's included in my plan. I want to use it, right? So I bring it to Apple, and I had the most rude Apple employee in my life. I don't know her name. If you're watching this, you know who you are. She's like, oh, we got to do some diagnostic test. And she does that. And she's like, well, it says unknown for the battery status. So we have to take it, and you can either pick it up here or we'll ship it to you. I'm like, well, I use it for work. I kind of want to use it for a little bit longer before I give it to you. I got to plan this out a little better. Did not give me an option. Basically said, we got to take your Apple Watch, and you're going to just not have one for a week. It was a struggle tonight because I use it to get into tap access for doors, Apple Pay consistently, notifications, as you know, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that if you don't have it for a week, you really just hurt, and it sucked. But I did get an update from Apple over the weekend. I didn't see it on Saturday. I was so busy on Saturday, but they had it ready. You know what they did?
What?
They just replaced it with a brand new Apple Watch, not a refurbished model, brand new because it was that badly damaged, supposedly.
Wow. Well,
So I have a brand new Apple Watch. Fun fact: I still cannot get Visible to work on it. And I actually had Apple look at it, and they say it's not them. Of course, they always will say that.
oh yeah.
But I did see the diagnostics myself, and I saw no issues. So I don't know. I'm going to call Visible and work this out because now it's two watches having the same problem, and I can't think it's Apple at this point. I'll probably give them the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, our network's great, and it's testing fine for battery too. So if you did not know with Apple Watches, if you have, I believe it's a Series 8 and above, and you do not have a battery capacity of 80%, if it's lower than that, you can get a free battery replacement from Apple.
Well,
A little fun fact for those if you didn't know that. Take advantage of that if you have a battery. Now, here's a caveat to that. They do an incredible job making sure it's at 80% for a long time.
Now, is that 80% battery life or 80%
Capacity.
capacity? Oh, well, if it's life, that should be perfect because then that way you just charge it and back up again. That's no problem. So
That's
as long as
true.
you get a brand new one, then they're doing good.
Yeah, it's just a battery replacement. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but that's something they put out, I think, a year or two ago. So utilize it. I know a person at work that utilized that, and trust me, it works and it works great. But for my case, I had to send it in for a week to get that battery replaced. So it sucked. In any case, so this is something that it is back on now. It was off for a long time, and I don't know why. There's not information of how this is now back
Well,
and all that stuff, but
whenever there's a something that's not theirs, and Apple's using it, if you're a small company or even if you're a bigger company that's not as big as Apple, and Apple's taking your stuff, wouldn't you want to be like, now wait a minute, now lawsuit, blah blah blah,
I agree.
go after them.
I'm not saying that this is not what Apple deserved at all. I'm saying as a multi-billion-dollar company, you just make some. Don't skimp off other people's products. So I'm trying to get that right. Get your own staff that can do something like that. You can't tell me Apple can't afford people that can make this happen.
Well,
right?
that's how they got their money. They got their money by not spending it. They keep it.
True.
It's mine.
They have more money than some banks do.
They got enough to be able to pay people and the company who has this. Yeah, they've got enough. But
yeah, I don't know why they did that. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know exactly, but I'm glad it's back. So this is going to be on Apple Watch Series 9 and up, essentially. So if you don't have that, get that update as soon as you can. Okay, next topic.
Yeah, my screen kind of went black there for a second, but here it is. Yes, Apple Code confirms a Vision Pro with an M5 chip. So I don't have a Vision Pro. I don't
either.
There's very few people who probably do because of the price tag, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get a cheaper version of it. But obviously, they got to get the best chip. Here comes the new M5 chip. Like I said, right now it's just an analyst saying it. Obviously, everyone would know that. Yeah, you've got to have a better chip, better stuff into the new ones, maybe making it a little cheaper with other parts. That's what I'm hoping, because what was it, $3,000 for the first one?
$3,500.
$500.
Oh yeah.
That's a steep thing for really. I don't see anyone really talk about it online too. There's not very many people who unless it's maybe a subreddit or something that I don't really pay attention to.
So I did a demo of the Vision Pro, and I gotta say it is outstanding.
Oh yeah,
At that price point,
I was next to you at that point.
I know, and it was unreal how clear that screen was with the 8K OLED panel that is curved. Is a remarkable feat. I gotta say it is such a great device. But here's the thing, I have a Quest 3 from Meta, and one thing that I love about that is you play games, and there are some games with the Vision Pro. There's more coming out, but here's the issue with it. It's not going to replace that instance of you standing up and playing like, Fruit Ninja, or the demo that they give you, like you're getting invaded by these little aliens that you shoot or whatever, right? The second you stand up in a Vision Pro, it just goes into, you can see through the screen basically, right? And I don't know why they did that. I get that as a security precaution, so you don't like run to a wall or whatever, but make that like optional, right? So yeah, this device that is far beyond any other AR VR headset in the market, what it has for hardware, and then they do this. I don't get that. Like, I don't know if they intend for this to be a gaming device to start with until they get things worked out, because it's very expensive.
Because it's very expensive. I think it's in a spot that not very many people know what it's for. Because you're right, like the Meta, they have a focus in games and stuff like that. Obviously, the Steam one is mainly games. So maybe they're trying to make this a like everything, like but right now I think everyone's seeing it as more of like a gimmicky thing until they actually get more people out there, and the only way you can get more people with those on is lowering the price a little bit.
But here's the question that we'll ask the audience and you, Andrew. So let's say Vision Pro 2 comes out this year. I'm not saying it is, just hypothetical, right?
Yep.
What price point, realistically, I'm not saying Andrew might, let's say money is no object, right?
Oh yeah.
What is the price tag that seems fair to not take away too much hardware and software from a Vision Pro 2, while also making it more affordable for the market? What's a good price point?
Well, maybe I should say, instead of a Vision Pro, maybe they should have like another Vision for people.
They're working on that.
So that's why I'm saying. So you can have a Vision Pro like they have their MacBook Pros, which has all the huge text, the new chips and stuff in it. But if they have a cheaper one, so that one, like I said, they can keep it 34 for those people who really like it. I would say, since it's Apple, I mean, even 2,000 is going to be high for a lot of people. But that's probably going to be what I think would be close enough, because the other stuff is usually less. I don't remember off the top of my head what the Steam one is. The Meta one's cheaper. I know that one's a lot cheaper. But
the Meta Quest Pro is like crazy expensive and not necessary at all.
But is it around 2 though? That's what Apple's going to always be a little bit above.
Let's look, 'cause I gotta see now.
Yeah, that's what I believe Apple's going to do, even with their lower price point, because that way then they can always say, yes, you're still getting something better than the rest of the competition.
You just can't buy it if you wanted to. They stopped making it because there was a flop. But as soon as this page loads, I will let you know very quickly what it was.
But yeah, the Steam one, obviously, it's that one. The VR headset, I believe, was like 1,000 for all that, but that's not the main issue for that. You need a computer. So most of the people who actually have the beefy computers who want to play it have it. But there's a lot of people who, the common user, they'd have to buy a $2,000 computer or cheaper, on the cheaper end, maybe $1,500 computer plus an extra 1,000. So you're spending over 2,000 anyway. But that's for if you're doing gaming only. Whereas Apple will probably do gaming, obviously, but they would need a controller besides hands. They need something else, I believe.
Well, and I do think with the Apple Vision Pro, you can use an Xbox and DualSense from Sony on it for certain things. But like I said,
what games you can't support it?
Exactly.
There's not much.
There's not. Well, there is some, but like I said, it's very few right now.
Yeah, because it's like I said, since no one could be able to afford it yet. So if they do have this extra thing coming out, this cheaper model, get more people on it. People, because I have a feeling if you had, more people going in to have that demo, it would be great. But people would be able to understand and feel that, yes, this is a very nice device, very good sound quality from the device right by your head. Like, obviously, some people like to put headphones on for other things to be, surround sound. But this is pretty good for not having that.
Correct. So the the Meta Quest Pro was $1,500.
15. So that's what I'm saying. It'd probably be 2 or maybe 25. I don't know what Apple would be thinking of, but
so set aside like the Vision Pro Lite, if you want to call it that, or Air,
Yeah,
or
yep.
Sport, whatever, right?
So
So
to make
just the Pro 2, you said about 2,000 would be like what you think is a good price, right?
for the cheaper one. For this one, because it's the highest quality stuff, they're probably not going to lower from the 3,000.
Well, I'm not saying okay. Think like this though. What would you, if you're the guy who's going to be in charge of pricing it? Don't think of it too deep. What's a price point that you think is a good for consumers? Because obviously people say this is too expensive for this model. So
Well,
you're doing the Quest, or sorry, the Vision Pro 2, right?
yep, the
new
sequel
M5 chip.
with the
What
chip.
do you
Now,
think is a
I
good
would
price
probably
that's
still
good?
lower it, but they're
Good.
not going to lower it too much. So I even say if I was in charge and if I was in Apple brain right now, it's probably would be 32 to 3,000. I mean, but then that's the thing though, with better equipment and stuff, I don't think they will. They probably would be. They probably give it like 30, 34. You know, they wouldn't go down very much more than what they already have because it would have the top of the line stuff in it.
Really, what we're seeing here, according to the code, is just an M5 chip upgrade. And here's the thing about what they had before: it's not a bad chip. It's still a really good chip what they had in there, and it still did incredible things. But I could see, in my opinion, it going down to $3,000. So that is it's better, but I still think they need to make it 2,000 at most, even for a dumber down Vision
Like a
Pro.
light. Let's call it like the Vision Light.
Yeah, or I think they said Sport 1.0 was the name that they might use.
Sport.
Which
Like you're
seems
gonna be
strange.
well if it's sport you got to be able to move around a little bit, and
Yeah.
that's another downside of this thing was it was heavy when we had it on. It's too, I believe it's, you know, and that's another thing with a light version or a sport model, it having it a little bit lighter so you can play games and stuff on, because that's obviously the other ones are lighter to be able to play games because you're twisting your head around, you're moving. Yeah.
Now, the last line of this, what's it say, Andrew, in this article?
Could be launch as soon as late 2025.
So I have to imagine. So the code's not going to tell you what the actual hardware is going to have, right? It's just going to show you what it needs to operate. But if this is coming out with an M5 chip, right, I want to see what else they're going to do with it. I have to imagine more of the software is going to be updated more than the rest of the hardware, besides just the M5. That's just my opinion. Because
Apple
what
is
more
kind of
can
slow
you
at
do?
that. Yeah, it's slow at
They-
updates.
Well, it's okay. It's okay if they are, because I mean, when this came out, and you test this with me, right, Andrew?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think it needs a major overhaul right now?
Well, it doesn't need a
Like-
major overhaul. What it needs is third-party support, other people making stuff for it. I mean, because right now, the only thing, obviously, Apple's going to just do their stuff with maybe a little bit. I don't remember if there was any, like, third-party
There
apps
is.
or something. Well, no. I'm saying, like, when we did the Apple test thing, they
Oh,
were showing
well, yeah,
all
they're
in
not gonna
Apple.
showcase
And
that.
well, I mean, wouldn't you think they would want to say, like, oh, you know, here's Apple here, but then, oh, hey, we do have, you know, this is something that other people are doing too, so that way, because Apple can't make this thing popular if they don't also have other people
I don't know why they
making
don't
stuff
do
for it.
that. That's a
Well,
good point.
well,
Why
well,
is the
no, no.
demo just with Apple only apps?
Well,
Good
and that's
question.
well, I know I have a feeling because yes, they're obviously it's Apple, they want to do it themselves too, but then there's not very many. If you're a developer, would you want to develop for the Apple where no one's really going to buy it besides Apple people
Well,
who really love
there's
device.
a niche market that they had a lot of sales with this. Not what they wanted, but they had a lot of sales still.
Well, yeah.
So they're using it for like engineering quite a bit, right? You can see 3D models of what you're going to do. You can explode it and all that stuff and see what you're going to see. They used it successfully for surgeries with heart surgeons as well, and things like that. What I would use it for more than anything right now that it has now is watching movies. Did you get that part in your demo? I don't remember if you did.
There was a couple
They had a video,
really good
right?
videos. You could rotate your head all around and look at everything. But the thing is if I remember correctly, the battery life isn't long enough. You could maybe watch one 3-hour
2.5
long movie.
It was like well, no, two hours. I think is what it was. 2 hours.
And there are some movies who are over that. So
Here's this funny thing: they had in their like advertisement I see online that you can watch Avatar. I'm like, you can't watch the full movie because you just can't.
Well, I
Now,
have a feeling they've probably then, if you're watching a movie, they're going to like slow down the processors, save as much battery life for so
don't,
you
though.
can watch the whole
Here's
movie.
the thing, like, so as you know, you probably remember this, the battery pack that's like a cord going to a battery pack almost, right? If that can be charged also in real time while you're using it, that would make it so you can use it for that time period.
So,
But
and I
don't know
guess
if you
if
can.
you are watching a movie, then you have to have a power cord going to your butt. It looks like
Yeah, get a clip on your belt like
charger.
it. Yeah,
And that's why I'm saying if you wanted to do
weird.
something to other, like if you wanted to play a game or something, you want the mobility, but the battery life ain't there. I mean, why not just make now was that, I don't remember, was that battery pack cord unpluggable so you could get a
Yes.
bigger battery pack? So then they have to
Well,
make a big battery pack
that
for it.
part's not known yet. So and I haven't looked into it too much yet because, like I said, the price point just kills me. But I mean, if mine was no object, I'd probably get one, right? Because
Yeah.
they are nice.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's very nice.
It is super expensive right now.
Yeah.
And they gotta lower it. They like. It's not too often that the consumer base as a whole with Apple agrees on that. Even these people that are like mega rich agree that's probably too expensive, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Overall.
because people you have to outweigh. Right now, I mean, right now there's probably better since when we did it because that was almost a year,
Oh, well,
to
yeah,
over a
there's
year
software
ago.
updates and yeah.
The software,
It's
well,
nice,
software
but
updates and other apps and stuff.
what sucks is most of the things that I've seen for people is they have it in a closet, they have it put away, they don't use it as much as they thought they would.
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm curious if Tim Cook himself does because he says that he uses it all day when he works. Does he still, I wonder?
Well, I have a feeling that he probably either does or he's lying because obviously he wants to get people. But no, he's probably not. He probably is using it because he's probably got some secret. Like he's probably testing the most up to date Apple stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it's something, because obviously he could be like, well, I need this to work. The best Apple programmers we've got, you got to make it for me. And of course, they're gonna be like, sir, yes, sir. Got to get the boss all happy.
You don't want to piss off Tim Cook. That's what I mean.
Yeah. He's just like, you're fired.
The next topic I want to bring up, Andrew, and this is like the best episode you could have been on because this next thing is something we both had, and I was super excited to get this, and you were too. I think you got it first, actually.
I did
But-
because it was before the Apple Watch. There was
Yes.
there was nothing. There was
Nothing.
and then there was Pebble.
Pebble was a company. I mean, what year would that come out? 2005, 6 or something?
Well, no, not that far. Because remember, the Apple Watch or the first generation, the first one that we had, not Series 1, but Generation 1, that was 2014 or 2015. I think it's 2014 to 15. So that had to have been before then. So I don't remember exactly when I got it, but I'm assuming it was a year to 2 years, maybe. It was around a year before. Because
Yeah.
heck, e-readers were the thing. Everyone really liked
They were.
those for books and stuff. So they thought, well, make a small one, put it on your watch. And
Yeah.
that way you can change stuff, different backgrounds, different watch faces. And they were
My
one of the
gosh,
first
it was
companies that was
awesome.
easy enough to, like, you could put in other things. Like they weren't, Apple, likes to be very closed source. They were a little bit more open source. You could put in some cool stuff to it.
Well, I think it wasn't open source software, I believe. I mean, it's been a bit. But
Yeah.
what we're talking about is the Pebble smartwatch. To my understanding is not too great on this. I think it was the very first smartwatch that existed.
Well, it wouldn't have
For-
been the very first smartwatch. There has been others, but the very first one to be as close
Mainstream?
to what people. And I wouldn't really say. I mean, you could say mainstream too, because. But I think it still had a niche market too. I have a feeling it was just. It was the first one to be as close to what people expect now and a smartwatch to be. Whereas you
Yes.
could have notifications. I think that was the big thing. Whereas before there really wasn't a big. Hey, if you get a text, you can read your text.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing. That was the neat thing at the time.
It was so cool. And essentially what this guy did is he took a calculator from Texas Instrument and he used that panel that it had with basically that same chipset and hardware and created a smartwatch. What was so cool about that, I remember to this day, was the real-time changes you can make from the Pebble app on your phone, right, to change your background, change your color set, change all this other
Yep.
stuff.
Well, it was still. I think
It
the
was no
one
color.
there's no color. It was just an e-reader because that
It was
it had so much
yeah.
battery life. You could.
Oh, it lasted. Was it a whole month or something? Or
Well,
more?
no, it wouldn't have been a whole month, but you
I
could
remember
do
what it was now.
multiple days. Now, I mean, unless you have a watch face that really wasn't changing a lot, yes. Although I used mine quite a bit, so it could took a couple days, but it wasn't like the Apple Watch where you have to charge it every day. It
Exactly.
was you could do it like you could do like a whole day of actually doing stuff. And when I first got it, doing stuff, and then at the middle of the second day, it would start getting low enough where you're like, okay, I need to charge it.
Yes, it was such a great time in life because I remember Andrew getting it first, and I'm like, bro, what is that? He's like, it's just a Pebble, and he's
Yeah,
like, you
it's
gotta get
smartwatch.
one. And I think we went to Best Buy, was there something like that, and just picked one up that day. Was
I
this
think
something
so.
like
I
that?
don't remember what store it was, but yes, I
Oh,
remember it was because I kept saying, but before, why do you even need this? I've got my phone in my pocket. I just
yes,
pull it out, and then I'm like, this it's cheap enough too. It was a good price point. I don't remember the price, but putting it on, and then all of a sudden getting notifications. I don't have to get my phone out of my pocket. Oh, whoa, game changer! Adam, do this, do this. You're like, well, like everyone did the same thing. I'm not sure. You put it on on your wrist after a week. I can't live without it.
I know.
Can't.
It was like I remember that same year we were at the fall festival, and we're like, this is great to just get those notifications and see that as you're doing other things too, because it wasn't the best service in that area, but just getting that was it hit different at that time.
Because if you're
It
walking,
set the
moving
standard.
around, you wouldn't be able to feel it, but the watch vibrated and you could
It
see it,
did.
and yeah.
So anyway,
But
so
yeah,
with nostalgic in the past, that company just closed, right? They were done. They
I
didn't do
think they
any
got
more
bought out, if
by
I remember
Fitbit.
correctly. Yeah.
Yes. Fitbit
Yeah.
bought them out, shut them down, took some technology, so on and so on, right? So the original designer of the Pebble One smartwatch somehow bought it back and got the name back to his own IP, and now he's making the Pebble Time 2. So I want to share my screen really quick so you guys can see how this looks, because this is actually just incredible to me. And I was really impressed with what this has, because from what it was to begin with, it is such a different interface that I'm excited to see. First of all, we have color, which is something we didn't have before. It's kind of wonky in this design of it,
Well,
but
that's probably just a watch face that he's doing. There's obviously going to be different
there's
watch
probably a lot of
faces.
different
Yeah.
ones you could use.
Yeah.
But I'm more talking about like the actual like design of the actual watch itself,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
It's basic.
well, you can't. I mean, you say basic, but it's reminiscent to the original, which it had a
Oh, it
button
is.
on the side, easy enough to
Yes.
use. It's they want to differentiate it. They don't want to be. They still have the same kind of like ovalish style that most smartwatches are doing.
Any case, for those who are listening there, audio listeners, watch the YouTube video to get that little sneak peek. In any case, so it kind of like Andrew said, it resembles the original one, but they're coming back, and they're coming back with two different price points, I believe, or just one actually.
Well,
Sorry.
right now it's just the second. Right now it's just the Pebble Time 2, and it's
Yep.
225, and
Yes.
expected in December. So it's coming up very soon. It's got a backlight too, so it's not just like where the other one. That's the only downside of the old one is they didn't have any color, but backlight either. So having a backlight
Yes,
to be
that's
able to see
true.
in dark spots, that's what people expect. So and still being priced at 225, that is a good price point for something that on hope they didn't say anything about a battery. Oh, they did. 30 days estimated of battery life for it. So
30
you
days.
can't, and I'm assuming 30 days means you're not using it very often. It'll just be for notifications. The backlight's not being used. But e-readers can just keep battery life forever. Is that e-reader
Well,
ink? I'm
it's
hopeful.
a
It
it's
says
sixty-four.
color e-paper touchscreen rather than OLED or LED like the Apple
Yeah,
Watch.
64 color, which is really good. 316 stainless steel for the back. Nice little upgrade. I mean,
Yep,
geez,
because
that's
the older one was plastic
yep.
for the back, so it's going to make, and obviously for that price point, you're slightly under the SE watch, so you need to differentiate by giving a good product. And so far, this looks really good for anyone who isn't in the Apple ecosystem, because I have a feeling this Pebble is going to be for everything like it was before. You could use it on Android.
Unfortunately, the last paragraph says it's not going to work as well with the iPhone like it used to.
Well, and that's probably because it's they don't. It's like I said, Pebble. It says complain loudly or switch to Apple or switch to Android, because Android users will have more functionality. But that's obviously makes sense because they have always been a open source. Apple, you could still use it. I had an iPhone back then, so you could still use it.
If I can just get notifications with this, I'm good with that, realistically. So I want to see when this comes out, how good it is. Are you going to get one, Andrew, or no?
Pebble, no, I won't, because I switched to an Apple Watch. I don't foresee myself getting one of these, and especially since they said we won't get access to a lot of the stuff. Sounds like it's going to be Android people will be able to have all the functionality. They will enjoy it. Apple people, it says, like I said, people, you could still use it on the iPhone, but it's not. You're not going to have everything. So,
but even for I'm not saying to replace your Apple Watch.
Well,
just for the nostalgic. What you had before in the past. Do you still have your Pebble Watch, by the way?
No, it had a memory leak, and the screen would not work anymore.
Oh, and mine was done too. I don't remember what it was now.
It was because every once in a while the screen would have issues, but of course it was the first gen, and it was having issues like after the Pebble got bought out, and we once the Apple Watch came out, we're like, all right, yep, it's time to get rid of this. I gave it to my wife, who same thing. She did the same thing. Why do we need this? I don't need this. No. She started wearing it. I need to have it. I need to.
I must have.
So when the Apple Watch came out and I got mine, she was like, "Oh, Apple Watch looks good, but I don't know. I'll keep the Pebble." And then obviously the Pebble has started having issues. Hey, Apple Watch, time to get a new one.
So just to list really quick some things you cannot do with the Pebble on the iPhone. You can't send text or iMessages.
Yep, same as before.
You cannot reply to notifications, take actions to them.
Hopefully they would change that to, of course, then that would use a lot of the battery life. But yeah, I think because a lot of people expect smartwatches to do that now, maybe they'll change it. I don't know.
Oh, so if you react to notification your iPhone that's on the Pebble, it's not going to know that.
Oh, okay.
And there's no easy way for developers to create watch faces.
Now
that's like the limitations. So it does not sound like, I didn't see in this list that you can't make a call or receive a call. That's a nice feature. And so you can't get notifications. So it kind of does what I think it should do for a smartwatch that's the third party. I know there's limitations, I get that. But it's not treacherous and really overall. So that's it's not too bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to replace my Apple Watch. I'm just saying it's nostalgic and I like that. So those who had it, let us know in the comments below if you liked it a lot and if you're going to get this one as well. Okay. Next one. So Andrew, I know you're a gamer. I think you still are, at least, right?
Yeah, I don't game as much as I used to, but there's plenty of videos I've seen. I've seen Battlefield 6 being like a good return to form for people who really like that, with the tank, battles, jets, everything. The soldiers running around, however, still have they take a little bit from Call of Duty to be able to have you see clips of people online going ham. They do nothing but play. I remember being that way playing the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Oh my gosh.
And playing it for hours. But that was a different kind of play compared to what I see other people. They flick back and forth. They do this for a living. Obviously, there's plenty of streamers. That's what I see some streamers do it too. I don't have it yet, but being that it is a good mixture of everything, I can see why. It's a beta. I mean, because it passed 1 million in pre-orders. Analysts predict.
You can pre-order it right now, but there's the beta is still as of today. I checked this morning.
Okay,
you can still go on Steam and get the beta. It's like, I can't remember. I think it's like 50 gigs or something like that. I would encourage you to get it. I haven't played it yet. It's on my list.
Yeah, yeah,
But
no.
maybe you should play it together and try it out. That's what I'm saying.
That would be cool because I haven't played any of the most recent ones. Battlefield 1 was the one I really found out. It was very fun.
That's a good one.
I know I didn't
Yeah.
play it at the beginning when people were up in arms. Everyone's always up in arms. That's not the same as the last. But this one, I haven't heard too many, besides the purists who played the original Battlefield Bad Company 2s and all those, say that like
So good.
they don't like the new Call of Duty kind of flicky, really fast gameplay.
The only thing I don't like is that EA is the company behind this game, which they still are. But
Yeah. Oh,
here's
yeah.
the thing about this. I mean, of course, they have like a season pass where you can get so on for multiplayer, but they don't really mess with the campaign too much, which is why I like to play the most.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well. Yeah.
There are over 100,000 pre-orders.
Oh yeah.
That is nuts.
And I don't think there's a single player in the beta. I think it was all multiplayer. People are playing it for the multiplayer, seeing the multiplayer. Still, it's got
Top
a
tier.
good mixture of it, and I think people are just upset. Call of Duty. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't like the new Call of Duties, so they wanted something old school. Yes, there's still plenty of people who can still have that fun Call of Duty action, but then you'll have them tank players make jokes online about, oh yeah, I see how fast you're flicking and shooting people. Boom, take them out with a big old tank or a jet flying overhead. I think I saw a video of a guy getting a jet flying overhead and doing like almost not quite a donut, but doing a spin, flying around, hovering. It was pretty funny.
It looks incredible, and I'll say this much. Like Call of Duty is getting to the point where it's about the same game every single year, and it's like reskins, different locations, different
And they took
story.
a little bit of Fortnite by, hey, let's
Yeah.
do this. This IP will throw in a skins. This IP, they're trying to Fortnite. Oh my God, they're making infinite
I want
money.
that to stop so badly. If you watch last episode, I cannot stand Epic Games in a lot of ways.
I know you've
I
had. I've
cannot
listened to.
stand them.
I've listened to plenty of your episodes that you've had that Epic and Apple duking it out.
Well, but you'll have to agree with me. I'll just bring this up very shortly, okay? Because this has been brought up like several thousand times in the episodes. But do you agree that there even should not have been a court case when Epic agreed to Apple's terms and conditions, made the game, and then complained, "Oh, I must make more money. Now I need that more than 70%." I don't.
You could still agree because you're forced to agree, but
But
they
no,
think
you're not. Just don't use that platform. And they didn't complain about Microsoft doing the same thing.
Well, but that's the thing. I think they were saying it because if you're playing, the reason why they're doing it is because obviously they want to play it on the actual phone. But there's no way of using another platform to spend the money. So obviously they're forced to do it with Apple. Apple says, "All right, we're taking this cut." So yes, I can see they've signed the thing, but they can still argue, now wait a minute, your policy's still bad and I don't like it because I want more money because big company want more money. That's how it happens.
My whole point is this. 70% is never not enough. Never not enough. Ever.
Well, of course, if it was
That's
up to
my
them,
point.
if it was up to Epic, they'd be like, "I want all the money." And that's why they were
that.
wanting to tell Apple, just make it so you could go to me instead of you. But they don't. Apple don't want that. It's their
A different approach could have been that would make more sense to me is, hey, the 30% cut seems a bit high to me. Is there a compromise we can get to like 20%? If they approach it like that,
Well, I have a feeling
not as bad.
they did that under close. No, they did it under close. No one knew anything, and Apple's like, no, go away. And then they're like, all right, we're going to make it
Someone would have
public.
said that though if that was the case. Like,
Well, I
if
have a
that was
feeling
said,
it was big
I would love
wigs.
to
It was
know.
like Sweeney and Cook in the same. Yeah.
That guy sucks.
But
man,
yeah,
everything
but
he
back
does.
to Battlefield.
Yes, sorry. I know I was going to tell you. But anyway, yeah, Battlefield, though, I'm excited. I have not played it yet. I tend to have downloaded. It's ready to go. But I might have to pick this up, Andrew, because it is... I mean, I remember just even the last one playing that. It was a great game. It's a really good game.
I'm going to wait until it releases because betas are always good, but that's a small portion. When it
I'm not going
releases...
to pre-order it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let
I
it
agree.
release. Let the people with pre-orders play it. If they say... well, wait a minute, the beta was better. What's going on? Then obviously yes, but I don't think that's going to happen. But
We'll
because
see.
because EA's always had a good like base game. They've just tried different. It's just some have hit better than others.
The one thing I'll say though is they're pulling in Nintendo, Andrew, with the price point $70 for the base game.
Everyone, it's going to do it. And they're not really pulling a Nintendo. They
They
are
are.
well, they're not pulling it because Nintendo started it, and guess what? When one company does it, every other company is going to be like, well, we
Everybody
got to do
does
it
it.
too. We got to do it. It's the same way with a lot of stuff.
I know.
The market rate changes. Everyone's got to follow suit, and when prices go up, less people are going to start buying it because people are kind of
I
upset about
know.
Nintendo on that too.
Well, yeah, I wish that was the case for a lot of things, but it's not the case.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so in any case, Battlefield 6 is coming out later this year. I'm excited to play that. I want to play the beta some more. I hope they have the beta for a little bit longer too. That's just a great thing. But we should try to play it together, Andrew, at
oh,
some
yeah.
point.
And
Okay.
the last one we've got now. This is because we're old heads.
Come on
We
now. Not that
we
old.
oh my god. Well, I was whenever I was playing my Windows 95 computer hearing that screech and dial up.
Oh
Well,
man.
AOL's finally getting rid of it. I mean, they should have gotten rid of it a long time ago because I can see why they didn't because there hasn't been a push for anyone to say, okay, we need good broadband or some internet out to everyone because there's some places who couldn't get it besides dial up. So now that it's
True.
internet is getting better for people to use satellite internet and other stuff like that. That's probably why. Let's get rid of dial up. Dial up. Oh my
But here's the
god.
thing. So, just so you guys know, AOL is ditching dial-up service. I don't think that's the only company that still has it. I think Earthlink still has it,
Well,
perhaps.
yeah. There's others, but I'm
And a
still
couple
saying
others.
everyone needs to just
Yeah, follow suit.
But then, of course, I'm probably saying that because I live in a town where I've got internet. I've lived out in the country. I had those 3G satellite internet providers. They gave you something. I not the satellites but like like a local, like a small satellite one, but not like. I mean, Starlink. I've never tried Starlink, so I don't know.
I know people who have, and it's phenomenal, is what they said.
So and that and I think because of that too, that's one of the companies. I know there's others. What was the
Well,
one you don't like?
just don't forget this. You have like Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T doing like
Yes.
their LTE internet essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is like a great replacement because it's like $35 a month for like 100 down and like 20 up. That's, I mean, well, I say 100 down. Sorry, you can go up to 350 down and I think 30 up is the max speed with that, which for most people is going to be great. Now, I want faster speeds, of course, but I actually have that right now because I'm not living where I want to live right now. I'm getting my house fixed up, as you know this, Andrew. But when that's completely done, gigabit all the way. All the way.
Yeah.
Every symmetrical speeds, I want that. So in any case, they're ditching dial-up, which is great because that is, I mean, that it's time. It's
Yeah.
so time
Yeah.
to get rid
I mean,
of this.
it's because it's AOL. Everyone remembers AOL being you got mail. You know, all of those
Yes.
like memories. It's
And then
and we're a part of
IM.
we're part of the younger generation that was like young kids when that was the popular thing. I know there's people who were living through that and.
I
That was
know.
all they had, and they enjoyed it. But then they wanted more. Everyone wanted something better, faster. The age of downloading starts. Then with 2008, when the Apple iPhone comes out, now everyone's wanting more.
Yeah.
They need more. So, and that's a relic. That is from the '90s. Yes, it's time to move on, but yet it's always sad to see it go.
A little bit. If you ever
Yeah.
want to experience dial-up speed, just go to McDonald's or any hotel that exists. It's about that's how slow that is usually. But in any case, yes. So that's going away September 30th, which is like coming up, right? Really quickly. But I want to see this for everybody else. I wish that there was a regulation where like providers could not give you anything under 100 down because at this point in time, people use it. It's internet is not more so a bill. It's just about a utility at this point. Would you say? You need to have it for like paying bills. One,
Yeah,
you need to have it for
just like
like
a cell phone and stuff. Yep.
some people get their news that way, right? It's not anymore just something that people just have because they have it. I think it should be called a utility at this point, and I think the government should force these damn ISPs to say, you cannot have anything under 100 down.
Oh yeah.
There's
Oh yeah.
no reason for it. They can absolutely give you that. Any type of provider can give you that. And I think at the same time, they need to close down HughesNet.
That's what I was about ready to say. Like, there's one
What
of
a
those satellites.
scam. I don't know how they are legally in business for what they offer. Oh, you'll never use more than 6 gigabytes of data for a month, will you?
That is
Nobody.
another relic that it's too.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
too old. Yeah.
Update
But
from Windows would use that in a single damn update.
yeah.
So
So
they need to stop. I'm going off topic. I realize that, but
yeah.
regardless of that,
Yep. Yep. Okay.
in any case, this is going away, and I'm happy to see this, but it is a little sad at the same time.
It is. It's
So.
some people would always remember that and never forget it.
Okay, to wrap things up, we're gonna still do app of the week. So my app of the week is the NFL app. We see that the games are starting back up. The Bears won on Sunday. If you didn't watch that, I'm a huge Bears fan.
I saw that. Of course, this is still preseason though, so
It is. It's still preseason. I realize that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Bears winning, Andrew, is not something we see too often. So we gotta enjoy what we still can.
Any Chicago sport, unfortunately.
So for me, it's an NFL app, so you can get your stats for the plays. You can see what's going on with your teams, when the schedule is. And for me, that's what I choose, NFL. What about you?
Well, I mean, you're saying the NFL app. Well, the Bears app too is another thing where if you want to do, they have an app too. But
They have their own app?
They do. The Bears have their own app. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I just let you know. Obviously, there's this is local since we're in the Illinois area. Chicago is our team, so and other teams have it too. But my app of the week is really the only app I use daily is Spotify. I listen to podcasts on it too. Yours is on Spotify.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
yours on Spotify. But I also use it for music. Obviously, audiobooks is another big thing that you can do too. You can do a lot of stuff. Obviously, I know everyone knows about Spotify, but I use it daily. There's music I listen to, the same band, the same art. Heck, I've been listening to a same artist for like a same album almost once a day. Like there's one album that I'm just addicted to. So yeah, and that's not obviously what people use it for. Really, I got a shout out for their playlists. The way that they can make some playlists. Although I know they use AI too, which
Live DJ. Quasey brings up all the time.
I don't use that. I know some people who do. If he likes it, good. I don't use that. I like using I know they probably use AI for the Discover Weekly. That's my favorite thing that they do because you can learn new stuff. They do a pretty good job of that.
I'm told that's really good. One question I have for you about Spotify. Do you use the video podcast part of it? Because that's a thing I didn't know that existed at all.
I've seen people use it. I have not used it yet because I mainly use Spotify at work, so I don't do that.
Okay.
I just listen
that's
because
something-
I've got to focus.
Something, try it out and let me know how that is, because that's something Apple should do. Like, why can't Apple do that? They have a whole video platform, right?
Well, and that's it. Remember, Apple's sometimes they want to perfect it and get it there, but yeah,
that's
we'll
fine.
see.
But yeah, it's another great option for listening to your music, podcast, and so on. So that's Spotify.
Yep.
Well, thanks,
All right.
Andrew, for coming on this week. Really appreciate that. We'll probably have
Yeah.
you on again for sure, obviously.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for listening. Really appreciate all you guys
Yes.
For listening and
Thank
just
you for
for
having me.
subscribing. And we'll see you next week. Quasey should hopefully be here next week. I'm going to push that guy so hard, harder than football is, to get him on next week. Okay, guys? So he'll be back.
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you later.
Thank you guys. Have a great one.